I'm going to walk you through doing the very first one of these mass property analysis blocks here. So first I want you to pause this video and open this document up and follow the directions at the top, read through the introduction, start up Inventor, and once you have Inventor going so that it looks like this, then click Continue. So we're going to create a new part file. And the first thing we need to do is create a 2D sketch. So click that. I'm going to create it on the XY plane, and I'm going to press Alt-Tab, and that just moves me quickly back to this screen here. I need to create a part that is 5.125 inches by 2.75 inches. And you can see right here it says in inches. Move down in inches. Model 2, Model 3 is in inches, but Model 4 is in millimeters. So you'll need to change that before you even start Model 4, or it's going to be a big problem. You'll have to redo it. So we'll make 5.125 by 2.75. So if I do a rectangle, click and drag this, and I'll click, and now I can dimension this as 5.125, and let me scroll to zoom out here, and I'll dimension this one as, again, I'm hitting Alt-Tab, as 2.75. That's the shortcut, 2.75, and then hit Finish Sketch. Then next I'm going to extrude that, so I'll go up here to Extrude. And what is the height? So I'll tab back over. Overall height is 1.75 right here. So I'll make this 1.75. Then I'll zoom out here. Actually, I'll just click this corner button, isometric button. So now I have this project here, this part. And one thing that you're going to need to do is figure out what the solid block properties are first of mild steel. So what we're doing here is we're going to take a look at, if you want to make a part, manufacture a part, how much money does it cost? How much material do you need? If you start with a solid block and you end with a piece that looks like this. So we're going to start with the solid block and then take a look at its mass, surface area, and volume, and then compare it to the properties of the part, mass, surface area, and volume. So we need this to be mild steel. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to right click part 1, go to iProperties, go to Physical, and change this material to mild steel. And it looks like it's down into steel mild. Now you have your mass, your area, volume, and it also gives you density. So you're going to want to record those mass, area, volume, and then density all in here. Once you've recorded those numbers, then we can actually make our part and we can put the differences here. And then you'll have some questions down here to answer about it. You're going to actually create your own part out of a piece of wood, and you're going to mill it out. And then it lets you know, as a manufacturer, as a producer, how much material are we actually losing when we mill something out, which is a subtractive process, which just means cutting away the pieces. So let's get to this. I'm going to apply this so that we're changing the properties to steel. And again, you need to make sure that you recorded all those. First thing we need to do is we need to chamfer, 45-degree chamfer, this the left and right edges here. And if I look at this, it says that this 1-inch height is this left and right edge. So if I have 1 inch left and I started at 1.75 inches, that means I chamfered out 0.75 inches off the top. So let me chamfer this edge, and I'm going to set that to 0.75. Then I need to make sure that I do the channel in the middle. If you chamfer the two front and the back, it's really hard to get that channel to go all the way through. So I'm going to do the channel, and that's 0.625. But I need to do a little bit of math first. If it's 0.625, and I'm just going to type it, we'll just type it up here. If I have 2.75 for the entire length, and I'm going to subtract 0.625, then I get left 1.125. That's how much is left for the left and the right side. So we'll take a look at that in just a second here. So I'm going to create this sketch. I'm going to make a rectangle. So I'm clicking the middle scroll wheel and holding it down and dragging to move that. So let's do this here. And if I want, before I click to set this in place, I'm not clicking yet. I'm just going to hit Tab, and it moves me right to that bottom data field, and that's 0.625. Then I don't have to go through and dimension it. Dimensioning it would work just fine. So at this point, whoop, looks like I didn't quite make it to the top with that channel. So I'm going to need to redo that piece. We're going to finish the sketch, and I'm actually just going to delete that. So again, we'll create the sketch, do a rectangle, and make sure that it's lined up with the top edge here all the way to the bottom edge. And it looks like that time I clicked it, so I have to dimension. That's 0.625. And then the remainder piece from here to here is half of 1.125, because the left side and the right side combined are 1.125. Whoops, sorry, that should be a 2. Did that math wrong. You probably caught that. 2.125. So I need half of that for each of these sides. So half of 2.125 is 1.0625. And your calculator will help you out with that. And now that should be centered. So if I mark that, you can see it looks the same. I'm going to hit escape. I don't need to dimension that. Finish sketch. Going to extrude this middle piece, but we want it to go down, so I'm going to change this direction down, and it looks like it's going down a depth of 0.75. And then last, we need to chamfer these edges, and you can see that they have a height of 0.75 remaining from the bottom here. If there's 0.75 remaining, that means that 1 inch was cut. So we'll go to chamfer, change this to 1 inch, and I do this edge and this edge. Click the check mark. Now this part is done. It matches this one. And so I'm going to right click part 1. You might have named it something. Go to Eye Properties, go to Physical, and update this. So click update, and it shows up. They weren't showing up before. So now we have a new mass. I believe the other one was 6 point something, now it's 5. My mass is reduced because I've cut stuff away. So you're going to need to record those in the part properties, and then do a little bit of problem solving here to finish these questions. If it's $6.25 per pound, what is the material cost of the part? Material cost of the part is solid block properties. That's the materials that you're paying for. You're not paying for what it costs in the end. You're paying for what it costs in the beginning, and you're cutting stuff away. So as you're reading these questions, start thinking about which are they talking about. Are they talking about the solid block that I need to figure out, or are they talking about the part property? In this case, how much is lost, and then the cost of the loss. So again, you're going to go through these and solve these problems here, and then you're going to continue to move on to do 3 on your own. I'm going to make another really quick video to show you how you chamfer something that's not 45 degrees. So if you already know how to do that, you're in good shape. Otherwise, you can watch the following video to get some help with that.